You know, sometimes you look at a city skyline, all those lights shimmering like they're promising you the world, and you think this is it. I've made it. That's how Maya felt, standing in her penthouse, 25 floors above the buzzing streets of Port Nova, her hand pressed against the cool glass, feeling the tiny kicks of her unborn daughter, Lila. It was her moment of peace, a quiet second where the world felt perfect until it wasn't. Maya and her husband, Ethan, they were the power couple of Port Nova's real estate scene. They'd clawed their way up from nothing, her grandmother's inheritance buying them their first plot of land in the city's up-and-coming Bayside district. That gamble paid off, and soon, Horizon Developments was born. Her designs, his hustle, their shared hunger for something bigger. They were unstoppable, the kind of duo that turned heads at galas, sealed deals over champagne, and built a life most people only dream of. That night, when Ethan came home, suit crisp, smelling like money and confidence, he wrapped his arms around her, his chin on her shoulder, whispering, "We did it, babe. The Bayside Tower deal? Signed, sealed, delivered." Maya leaned into him, her swollen belly warm under his hand, and for a moment, it was like nothing could touch them. But cracks, they start small, don't they? A comment here, a decision made without her there. Ethan started calling Horizon my company in interviews, tossing her a smile like she was just the pretty face at home. "Don't stress, Maya," he'd say, waving off her questions about permits she'd spent weeks chasing. "You're pregnant, focus on our kid." It stung, you know, because this was her company too, her money, her blueprints, her sweat. Then came the late-night phone checks, his shadow hunched over her screen when he thought she was asleep. "Just checking the markets," he'd mutter when she caught him, but they both knew it was a lie. The air in their penthouse got heavy, like a storm was brewing, and Maya could feel it. Something was about to break. It all came crashing down one rainy night. Maya was reviewing plans when a text came through from James Carter, a rival developer, just a friendly, "Congrats on the Bayside deal. You earned it." Innocent, professional, nothing more. But Ethan came home in a mood. Some deal had tanked, and when he saw that text, it was like a switch flipped. "Who's this guy, Maya?" he growled, holding her phone like it was evidence in a crime. "You're sneaking around with Carter, aren't you?" She tried to stay calm. "Ethan, it's just work, you know that." But he was gone, lost in some jealous fever dream. "Is it his?" he spat, pointing at her belly. "Is that kid even mine?" The words hit like a punch, stealing her breath, and before she could process it, he was in her face, grabbing her arm, screaming, "Tell me the truth." She yanked free, fire in her chest. "It's yours, you jerk, it's ours." That's when it happened. His face went blank, like the man she loved just vanished, and with one brutal kick to her stomach, he shattered everything. The pain was blinding, a red-hot explosion that sent her crumpling to the floor, blood pooling under her cream dress. Her scream mixed with the howling wind outside, and then darkness. She woke up in a sterile hospital room, white walls, white sheets, the beep of machines, a cruel mockery of the heartbeat she'd never hear again. The doctor's words were gentle but heavy. "We did everything we could, Mrs. Reed. We had to perform an emergency hysterectomy to save you. I'm so sorry. Your daughter didn't make it." Daughter. Lila. The name Maya had whispered to her belly at night, a star snuffed out before it could shine. Ethan was there, outside her room, playing the grieving husband, claiming she'd slipped on the marble floor. A perfect lie for a perfect liar. But Maya? She refused to see him. The love she'd had for him was ash now, and in its place, something colder was growing, a spark of pure, focused rage. That spark became her lifeline. In the hospital, staring at the ceiling, she fed it every memory of Ethan's control, his paranoia, his betrayal. She wasn't going to just survive this, she was going to make him feel the weight of what he'd done. She found her weapon in a black folder tucked in her desk, papers she'd almost forgotten. The deeds, the contracts, the proof that Horizon Developments was hers. Her name, Maya Cole, her maiden name on every founding document. Ethan, in his arrogance, had never seen her as a threat, just a tool for his ambition. Big mistake. She called in Sarah Voss, a lawyer with a reputation for burying her opponents, who worked out of a quiet old building that smelled like books and secrets. Maya laid it all out, the assault, the loss, the documents, and said, "I don't want a divorce, Sarah. I don't want his money. I want to take everything: his company, his pride, his sanity. I want him to live in a prison of his own making. Sarah didn't flinch, just gave a small, predator's smile. All right, Maya Cole, let's build your demolition. The plan was surgical. Maya used Ethan's paranoia like a scalpel, cutting him where it hurt most. A burner phone sent cryptic texts. She's with me now, stay away, letting him stew in his own suspicions about James Carter. Bouquets of orchids arrived at the office with unsigned notes. For the one who got away. She tweaked their shared calendar with fake dinner plans at fancy hotels, deleting them just in time to leave him chasing ghosts. At Port Nova's biggest real estate gala, a stunning actress in a red dress threw her arms around Ethan, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Oh, darling, not since that weekend in Miami." He stammered, confused, as whispers spread like wildfire. Ethan Reed, cheating on his grieving wife. Another actor, an older guy, slapped him on the back, joking about a discreet spot in Paris Ethan had never been to. The gossip blogs ate it up, and Ethan's paranoia consumed him. He was yelling at his staff, accusing partners of betrayal, unraveling in front of the city he'd fought to conquer. While Ethan chased shadows, Maya and Sarah struck. As majority shareholder, Maya called an emergency board meeting, presenting a stack of evidence: fake companies, siphoned funds, unauthorized loans, all Ethan's doing. The boardroom was ice cold as she laid out his fraud, her voice steady. "This is your signature, Ethan, isn't it?" He was trapped, his denials sounding pathetic against the truth. The vote was unanimous. Ethan was out, stripped of his title, his power, his empire. By the time he stumbled to the penthouse, the locks were changed, a restraining order and eviction notice waiting for him. "This is my home," he shouted, but the court server just shrugged. "Not anymore, Mr. Reed." Ethan's world collapsed fast. His accounts were frozen, cars repossessed, art collections sold. Friends stopped answering his calls, and he ended up in a grimy motel, selling his fancy watch just to pay for a bed. He was a ghost in Port Nova, haunted by a conspiracy he couldn't prove, muttering about Carter, about betrayal, never seeing the real enemy: the woman he'd underestimated. The final act came in a sleek, black warehouse, Maya's latest project, a training center for kids from the city's rough edges. Ethan showed up, clinging to a desperate hope she'd take him back. She stood there in a white dress, calm, untouchable, and told him everything: the texts, the actors, the boardroom takedown, all her design. "You thought I was cheating, so I gave you cheaters to chase," she said, her voice sharp as glass. "You never checked the fine print, Ethan. My name was on every